So all of the exercises so far have been more about resisting rotation, or sometimes referred to as an anti-rotation exercise. This one we're going to talk about how to actually rotate during the exercise. So I find it's usually easier for people to learn how to resist rotation prior to actually learning how to rotate. If you jump into doing this stuff, you don't have a good sense of how to stabilize in the first place, you can get through these, but oftentimes the learning curve and sort of what you're going to get out of it is much more when you start with stabilizing and learning how to resist rotation before jumping into an actual rotation exercise. So one of the keys, probably the most important thing with any rotation, whether it's exercise or daily activities, is that the hip and the shoulder must go together. Now, what this should start you thinking, get you thinking about, if you exercise and you're doing an ab exercise that doesn't have that component, right? If you're twisting and turning and your hips and your shoulders are going in opposite directions, that's not a good thing. So a common exercise is the Russian twist, where people sit down with their legs out in front and they'll sometimes move a medicine ball or a dumbbell and you'll go kind of side to side that way. There's a few problems with that exercise, but part of it is when you're sitting in that position and you rotate one way, to balance your body, your hips tend to rotate a little bit in the opposite direction. So you're creating a little bit of twisting and torquing through your spine. So it's not the best option, but it's a common sort of ab exercise a lot of people will do at gyms and even at home, because again, it's an easy thing to set up. It requires minimal equipment, but I think there are better options. So when you go to do any rotation exercise, make sure hip and shoulder are going to go together. Very, very important. It also starts to resemble a baseball swing, a golf swing, right? If you're throwing something, it all kind of turns through and works together. So for the standing chop, again, you need to anchor your band to something. This time, I'm going to grab with my inside hand first, okay? I'm going to grab here. My other hand comes over the top to secure this way. So the trick with this one is to actually relax your arms. So my arms are not doing the pulling, which I know seems crazy because they're the thing holding onto the band, but I want my arms relaxed. And I want to focus on turning and pivoting through my hip, through my abs, and my arms move this way because of what I'm doing through my hip and through my torso. And that's the thing people mess up the most. So what it should look like is from here, I'm going to turn this way. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to come back. Turn. Now you can kind of see at the bottom of the video here, I'm pivoting up onto my toe. That lets my hip rotate. Very, very important. Don't anchor your heels in for this exercise, and don't just do this. Okay, that's going to start to jam up your hip, and you'll feel a lot of it in like almost the groin area when you do stuff like that. It's a problem for the hip, it's a problem for the back, it's a problem for your knee, because you're asking joints to do things they're really not meant to do, and you're putting a lot of stress on them that is completely unnecessary. So again, here, my elbows are slightly bent. I'm not pulling across my body this way. I'm not doing this and then turning my hip. Don't lead with the arms. The arms turn because of what I'm doing down and through here. So make that the focus with all of your rotation type movements, just generally speaking, okay? Focus on even doing this without the band and just get a sense of that motion, and can you get everything to work together? Here, and then the arms move because of that.